Check. 1, 2. Magic. Check. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. How's everybody doing today? Hello. Joseph Sunderman here, Creative Tech. And it is Saturday, June 1st. Already June, everybody. It just feels like New Year's was just here. Or I'm old, one of the two. Anyway. How's everybody doing today? My name is Joseph Sunderman, Creative Tech, and you are now here on the Creative Tech Show. This is our live session show. This is where we have our weekly check-ins to see where everybody's at, see the development of the Creative Tech, and to talk about a focus that's relevant to the Creative Tech and its journey. What we're building here is the content. Icora is a business that I own and operate, and it's early stages, and it's doing some incredible things I'm really excited about. And I know I need to market the hell out of it once we get to a certain point and take it to market. It's a minimal viable product. But I didn't want to go out when I went and started researching and preparing to brand this machine I've built and to do all this. I just knew the cost that we would be hundreds of thousands of dollars every year being poured into marketing for something I'm wanting to, the thing I'm building is going to be that big. I know I got to be in control of that, and I got to be able to do that well. And I want to have control of it. I want to actually be able to produce the content. Everything I've learned, all the clients that I work with, and even my own companies, everybody needs to be able to let everybody know what they're doing. They need to market somehow. Ever since back in the day, before there was computers or digital anything, we had ways of marketing, and we looked for ways to get people to know about the thing. The challenge is how do you get everybody aware? Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's doing their day-to-day. So all I'm getting at is we want to be at the forefront of the workforce that is making those changes, bringing on the next revolution, bringing on the next, what makes a modern workforce for today versus modern workforce for 1800 versus a modern workforce for 2400. We are on that glide. So without further ado, today I'm going solo. We don't have any other hosts. Will is out doing his shows and whatnot. I did have a good meeting with Cole this morning. He wasn't able to jump on the show today. He has engagements today, but he does send his best to everybody and is wondering how we're going to get everybody to do everything we're wanting to get them to do. And he thinks that we need to get spotlight videos going sooner than later. So that is a thing. Yeah. So what is today's show about? Well, authenticity. Today we're covering authenticity and the importance of it and why on this, you'll hear people preach that authenticity is king, that you've got to be authentic. And I agree with that. It's something that I've at times not been fully authentic, and I can articulate how it hurt me. And there's a lot of times where, I've learned that being authentic is king, because if you are authentic and you do learn to communicate well, and if you do have something good, you just have to know how to present, how to read a room, how to wait for your opportunity to get somebody's attention. When you do have their attention, finally, authenticity comes into it. So that's what today's show is about. We're going to talk about why truth is so important to authenticity. We want to talk about the principles around authenticity and what principles you can put in place to make sure that, you are authentic. And then the behaviors, the knowing the truth, understanding your principles, then you can start working on behaviors. And that's how we bring it full circle. So the why, the how, the what's, right? Yeah. I want to take a moment, though, real quick to catch up and let everybody know what we've been up to. As far as the show goes, things are on the track, we can show the delta from when we first started to where we are today. So if you want, you can go take a look at the channel and look at the, go to every platform and see if it's something that interests you. You want to see somebody building something and start seeing it get traction. I know, and this is a conversation I had with Cole today, is that nobody's watching right now. I'm well aware of that. The views are like next to none. He's saying that his few videos that he has posted have gotten him some traction. He's using some kind of analytic tool. And based off that conversation, we came up with our 16th episode, this is the 13th episode. I believe this is the 13th. Yes, this is the 13th episode of sessions. So we were talking about the 15th because the 14th is already set. The 15th episode, we believe, is going to be around algorithms. Because he's got this tool that he uses to see who clicked what and who did what and where, and he's getting some traction with his videos. He's like, you know what? I'm doing these videos which are for his channel that we're going to use that method of what he's doing there. We're going to use that as the Creative Tech Spotlight videos. He's like, oh, I got videos like you're not getting views. We need to get views. And I'm like, I'm not worried about views right now. I'm worried about building the platform and having something that when people do come here, they have something to view. And that's the content that we're building as we go. And what I always say is you take two people's ideas and their vast, diverse differences on this whatever spectrum you're looking at, and if you both meet in the middle, you'll come to something good. And what we found out that we came to is we need to start doing spotlights for the Creative Tech. Now that we have 12 episodes behind us, 3 months behind us, this quarter we're going to start. We're going to work on some spotlight videos. And when I do spotlights, I've been kind of thinking about how we're going to do that and looking at Cole's schedule and everything. So I believe we're going to be doing quarterly spotlights. Once a quarter, we're going to have a spotlight video. All the sessions around it can focus on that one video that we make. And this is all about structure. I hope anybody that comes across here, one of his concerns is people don't get it. They're not going to come here and watch the channel. We got to make these spotlight videos so that way people click on it and then they'll want to watch the hour. And that it all makes sense. I get it. The beautiful thing is we look, 5 years from now, we look back, we look at the steps we took and how we got here. How did we systematically make those improvements? Can we say where we made those improvements? All the things I keep telling everybody around me that they need to do. They need to get some kind of pattern, some kind of structure, some kind of routine down. And you perfect that routine and you start to improve on it. And over time, you will see a delta come to fruition. That's what Icora is doing with the Creative Tech. We started Creative Tech as a tool to a recruitment tool as well. Think about this. Anybody local to the Creative Tech, this whole concept I have, if we get national recognition and people start joining up and it's on its own a breathable, living thing that is doing well for everybody involved, how wouldn't Icora be able to say, hey, we need a new account manager or a new technician or a new engineer? We know where to go. We know what pool to go to because the creative technologist, anybody that's in that group, that's the first place to start looking. Or that's a great place to recruit because those are already like-minded people. We're not looking for people with any kind of political views, with not any kind of sexual orientations or identities as far as race goes. The only identity we are looking for in our candidates are people that understand the creative tech mentality, understand that we are all sharing this wonderful air and world together, so we all have to be mindful of self-aware of ourselves and how we're affecting others, and we want to know our strengths and how we can help and collaborate and all that moving forward. So with all that being said, that's why we're talking about authenticity. And I want to start with, music's a little loud for me. There we go. Got my speakers all the way up. That might be why. Hopefully the audio is good. Again, I don't have anybody watching. No moderators. I have one viewer right now, but I don't know if that's legit or not. That could be another tab I have open that's watching my show. I could be my only viewer. That's one thing I don't like about StreamYard. And I don't know if they fixed that yet, but if you are somebody watching, thank you. And welcome to the show. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of this whole conversation now. I've got you guys caught up with what we're all doing. I have a few projects going on right now. My projects that I have going on are essentially the admin pipeline for my clients at Icora. There's a way that we get businesses, like any company that I've helped support that has a lot of issues with their culture and seemingly not adopting things smoothly and getting things done well, that's because the team isn't working well together. That's because leadership isn't bringing their admins together, their leaders together, their champions of their departments, and they're not working with them to get them on a common mission and to basically push their why. So with the 40 plus clients we have, there's about 7 clients that we're working with at the level to get them to have their department heads act as a team to meet on a quarterly basis. Well, there's 3 meetings a quarter, one every month. So a monthly meeting, but quarterly routine, where month 1, there's a purpose for that meeting. Month 2, there's a purpose for that meeting. And month 3, that meeting is a organizational meeting where we bring everybody together and update them on what we covered and what we prepared and developed in month 1 and 2. And we rinse and repeat that as part of our way to foster a culture of continuous improvement in education and operational excellence. So, yeah, a lot of stuff there to be said. If you're somebody that's not into, I guess if you're not somebody that enjoys going to work and it's more of a nuisance for you and you're just going there, like, I would say what you would want out of this show is to figure out what your purpose, your why is, so that way you can find the right path to get on and be happier. If you do get it, well, then you get it. Welcome to the show. I hope this is helpful. Let's get into the focus. So I want to pull up the model of Ikora real quick, because this is the creative tech. This isn't for my business. I'm not trying to advertise my business. This is just helping get the idea across. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull up my beautiful little screen here. Give me the view I like. Thank you. Actually, can I make it a little smaller? There we go. So as you can see, we have a bunch of scribbles on this here horrible looking. Yeah, can we make this full? Yeah, I want the palette. That's all. Okay. So I built this model right here to help explain what it is Ikora does, but I didn't have time to prep one for today's discussion on authenticity. But when we're not authentic, when we are on a first date, we tend to put on a mask, a show, because we want to impress the person that we're with. Maybe they're super attractive. Maybe we I don't know why you're so interested, but you want to impress this person. And a lot of times we do that. We're overly thinking what other people want, and we are not truly being our true selves. And that's an immaturity type level thing. And we can talk about that some other time. But bottom line is, when you are talking to somebody, you can bullshit people, and people are aware of this, and people can smell bullshit. You ever notice that if you do something right and you're always doing good, you might get an accolade here and there, but once you fuck something up or you do something bad, it's like taking 20 steps backwards, and it's like end of all things, and it takes so much work to get there. And you can have the same, you can have 10 things that go well and 1 thing that goes bad, and you start over at the beginning again. Whereas if you had 1 thing go good and 10 things go bad, well, yeah, you're done. You're fired. You're done with. But it shouldn't be the other way. If there's 1 mess up and there's all these goods, and a lot of times when you're immature, yeah. So what I have found is instead of put on that mask, obviously you want to be polite and courteous and empathetic and kind to others, but being authentic, not putting on a mask at all. How can you be yourself and end up being charming? How can you be yourself and not end up being that person? That's a big question, and not a lot of people understand authenticity and what it means to be genuine. And we're talking about individuals right now, but when we take this to a company and we talk about authenticity with a company, let's say a company says they care about their customers and they're customer centric, but yet they're being super demeaning and being pushy to their agents and their representatives. So that way, when they're a bank and they're reaching out to people and they're setting up accounts, and the bank saying, hey, leadership is telling their workforce, you got to get these numbers, you got to get this and that, and you got to be on the phone, this is what we care about, is numbers and sales and blah 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 blah. And I don't know if anybody knows what bank I'm talking about here, but as you're on the phone with them or set up an account, they're going to start doing things to you on the phone because leadership's pushing this narrative. Now everybody's going to start, pushing, oh, you need a new account for this, a new account for that. They'll just start opening accounts without you approving it because they need to meet their quota. They're not being authentic. They're not taking care of the customer. They're saying they're taking care of the customer, but their agenda is to raise their numbers. Now, if your agenda is to raise your numbers by taking better care of people, then I think the calls and the things that we do would be different. But the numbers, anyway, things get mistreated. Wells Fargo had a big incident a decade ago or so. I don't know how long ago it was. I didn't do any research before this. I'm just, again, these shows will get better as we go. The Delta, what I found now is that I'm doing all this off the top of my head. There's no overlays for the screen. I'm even pulling up something from my business Icora to show you guys on this here show. Like I get where the show is, and to the argument to those that say, well, you got to make videos that people are going to come here and watch. I get that. Nobody wants to sit here and listen to me talk for an hour. But if you do a session with me, we have a session focused on you and your personal and professional life. And we look at how you interact with that as your identity interacts with other identities. And we coach you and help you see things that maybe you couldn't see before, or frame things in a way that helps you get control of the situation. You may feel like you have no control of everything. Everything's your knee-jerk reaction to everything because you don't have a plan. You got to have a plan. Come on, bro. Chickas, everybody, those, them, days, whoever you are, I want to help you. And I do. I'm old. I'm 40. I'm almost 45 years old, everybody. I may come off sounding like a bigot pig, a masochist or misogynistic or whatever these terms are now with people getting canceled all over the place. I know that I have nothing but love and I want to learn. I am learning. But at the same time, to be cautious and curious, I'm going to say, what's up, guys? How you doing? And if that really offends you to the point where you get upset about that, what I'm trying to say is I'm being authentic and I'm being careful. And if me saying, hey, guys, is really gotten to the point where that's cancerous in our society, I think there's a bigger problem going on here. I have no intent to upset anybody. And I've had that happen in work environments where you guys, don't you think that's like, there's girls here too. Like, really? I got that joke when we were kids. We would joke and say something like that. But now today, our feelings are so hurt to where we go to that level. Is that necessary? I don't know. Anyway, so when a company and their leaderships and their workforce are not authentic or genuine when they're helping you on the phone, if they would have answered the phones at Wells Fargo, say, hey, listen, I got to open as many accounts as I can. My boss is giving me shit. That would be them being authentic, I believe. But what they did was they called people up. They opened up accounts without them knowing about it. They were doing things to raise their numbers, to save their asses. They had to go in front of Congress. They had to they got all kinds of fucking shit from it. I don't know all the specifics. All I know is it's a good example. Jared at Subway, could that be considered a authenticity issue? You got this guy out there praising this and that and helping your company with this campaign for losing weight and all this stuff, but here he is, he's a pedophile. How authentic was all of that? I don't know if that matters. The company was authentic. As soon as they learned about it, hopefully they did something. Unless Subway was helping, this creep do what he did. Who knows? Anyway, that was stupid. I'm being dumb. What I'm trying to say is that you have to know who you are. So the three topics that we're going to talk about today around authenticity, we're going to start with truth, which kind of just opened up and talked about that for a few minutes already. But truth is a very big part of it. You can't be authentic if you don't know your truth and know what you want. I talk about this in all of our planning, whether personal or professional. You have to have your anchor. You have to have something to aim at. All right. And I call the thing that you aim at in life, I call those your anchors. And there's other terms in business with anchors. You can have anchor pricing. There's terminology can get thrown around and misconstrued. But what I mean when I say anchor, you have to have an anchor to help you stay grounded and know what to aim for when you're going. And maybe there's a better term. I don't know. I'm all ears. If you're listening to conversation and have any input, please let me know. But when you know your anchors, you know what you want out of life, and you aim for those as you're living your life. If you want to be somewhere in 5 years, if you truly want to be somewhere or have something in 5 years, you have to know what that is. And if you want it today, good luck. You're maybe you can flip a switch, and that means it's all on you. Maybe you have the power to make the flip to live the life you want to live if you can. But a lot of things I talk about, like having a happy home with a blended family and a bunch of kids. How do you have that? How do you have a family living in a home where when kids are disrespectful, it's not tolerated and it's dealt with, as opposed to one where the kids run the house and walk all over parents and are super disrespectful, and it's a toxic environment? Like, choose your battles, right? And for me, when you know what you're going for and you stay true to yourself and what you love and who you are and what you want, you'll get there. But you start placating people. You start to not deal with that conflict because it's just I don't even care anymore. Like, you let things override you. That's a problem. And you're hurting you're hurting yourself. And if you're a business, oh my God, you're not just hurting yourself, but you're hurting a community. Because usually when you're a company, especially if you have multiple employees, those people usually live close to the workspace or workplace, wherever you're at. And they fucking, you're going to, you have the ability to make an impact on a community, a legitimate impact. And when you're as big as some of these companies I've mentioned, you have more than this, a community, you have a society that you're impacting. So, truth is what matters. Truth is really what we need to be focused on. So this little graph I pulled up here, this is how I focus on things. This is for my business, that is. And on the personal and professional side, I want to show you how the creative tech and our ways of doing things are aligning with this model. What is a creative tech? Creative tech is part of the modern workforce. The modern workforce is made up of individuals like you and I. And when I say the modern workforce, just because you work in a company that has modern technology doesn't mean that's a modern workforce. They open up new companies all over the place, and that company will be brand new. They'll hire people from the community, bring them in there. And if the leadership of that one site isn't solid, like that one site could cause problems for the overall company. All I'm trying to say is if you look at a company, you go to every store and you got the same experience from store to store to store. That company is authentic and they're keeping their shit together and they have structure. There's something to it. How do we get to that level? Personally and professionally. That's what consistency gets you. That's what having your anchors gets you. And you can't placate it. You have to know your truth. So that's the first topic today. Truth. Why is truth so important to authenticity? Because people can smell bullshit. And when you are not being authentic, you are bullshitting people. And they can see that. They can smell it. They can see it. And you're not fooling anybody. And if you are fooling anybody, your behaviors will point it out eventually. And we're going to get into that. That's the third topic here. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the true nuts and bolts of truth and when it comes to authenticity. I'm looking at my agenda here, trying to keep this show on track. So, topic one, truth. What is truth when it comes to authenticity, and why is it so important? Because people can smell shit, and you shouldn't do it. Don't lie. Don't sugarcoat things. You know, I always say fake it till you make it. And some people take that to a way too far of a literal statement. When I say fake it till you make it, I say if you want to be a $10,000 a year company, then act like a $10,000 a year company. If you want to be a $10 million a year company, then act like a $10 million a year company. Would a $10 million a year company have all their, standard operating procedures, their SOPs, just in their head, and they train somebody to show them how to do it, and that's it? No, if it's a $10 million company, we're at $10 million. That kind of money coming through us, we're doing a lot of work. There's got to be some structure to the shit that we're doing. We need to have shit written out, documented. When we hire somebody new, I ain't got time to sit with them and rehash everything I got to rehash. I should be able to hand them something that they should have then study so they can learn what's expected of them. And then we have a conversation about it and do a little training, and we're off to the races. We've done a lot of that work without having to take up time from both the individuals. Like, that's scalability. That's what I'm talking about. How can you build a healthy foundational company with authenticity? It's being true to yourself, being true to where you are and who you are. When I say fake it till you make it, that means act like a $10 million company if you want to be a $10 million company. But you can't just go out and buy assets as if you're a $10 million company. Come on. You have to work with what you have. Meet you where you are. If you are where you are and your company does $10 million a year and you just got hit, how are you regrouping to get back to that place? You're not going to just continue doing what you're doing right now. You're going to have to build out systems and scale it up to where you can bring people in, train them easily. You're going to have systems that automate and do tasks, especially the redundant tasks that take up time through the day. Those should be things that technology can help us with today. You also have to have somebody watch it. So what are the principles around the creative tech or authenticity? Sorry, I'm trying to read and do this at the same time because soloing it's so much fun. Strong principles serves as the backbone of authenticity, guiding ethical decisions and actions in the fast-paced environment of the creative tech industry. By adhering to core values, professionals can maintain consistency and reliability, inspiring confidence and respect among peers and clients. That's another thing is I know before I took my communication classes, before I learned to be self-aware as much as I am now, I would go into a room with, like, I know I have it. I know I have the answer to this. So I have the solution to the problem these guys are having. I'm going to go in here and it's a hell of a solution too. It's awesome. It's got all this structure and all this great stuff to it. I'm excited to go into this room and tell them about it. I would walk into that room and I would take that, like a fire truck, fire hose. I'd bring it over here and I get the hose position and I would say, you all listening to me? Do I have everybody's attention? And that's number one thing in the world right now. The biggest asset in the world, the biggest valuable thing that you can get from anybody is their attention. Attention is the key to business and marketing, is getting their attention. And I'm not getting anybody's attention with an hour-long live show. I get that. I hear you, Cole. But what I will get attention on is look at this structure this guy's built. Look at how long he's been doing these sessions, and now look at the improvements from day one to here. All I'm saying is these are the principles I'm putting in place, and I'm not going to get instant results from them. Nobody will. But over time, as long as I know my truth and I stay authentic and I use those principles to stay authentic, I will get where I want to go. And will I get to the destination that I planted in my head? No. I'm going to get to a destination that's beautiful, and it's going to meet these principles and these values because I made sure of that on the journey. That's the power of this. So, getting respect from others. To me, I believe effort equals respect. Effort equals respect. Effort also equals success. The quality of effort, the quality of these things. Yeah. So I've been staying true to myself. And when we look at this model, I know I pulled this up forever ago. I haven't really just explained it yet. So what we have here is the most important piece of this whole pie is this guy right here, the identity. The identity of a company is exactly what we've been talking about. It's their mission, their purpose, their story, their offerings, their initiatives, their values, their principles, their culture. There's more to it than this. This is just a few of the buzzwords that we use to come up with authentic and genuine. These have to be authentic and genuine. Not only for, again, Ikora, professional business development, operational excellence, getting the team aligned and working and being authentic and working together on a common mission. That's Ikora, secure IT management for the modern workforce. We're not talking about Ikora right now. We're talking about you, an individual that's in the modern workforce. You, the one that has an identity. We're talking to you because your identity has to mesh well with the identity of the company you're working for that to be something you truly love. Now, if you're working at McDonald's and you're authentic and happy and successful there, you truly love McDonald's and what you do and making people happy with that cheap meal. Authenticity is where happiness is. That guy working at McDonald's that's happy and doing things and greeting you, like, I don't know, I don't go there very often anymore because I feel like society's gone downhill, and most McDonald's, you'll find a lot of McDonald's that have issues due to those societal issues. Anyway, your identity, your mission, your purpose, your story. What do you offer people? What are your initiatives, big initiatives, right? And we have a whole system that we do initiatives and objectives and matters and tasks. And, yeah, the whole thing. Values. What do you value? What values do you uphold? What value add do you bring? Principles. That's what we're talking about right here, right now. Authenticity with the principles. What are some principles of authenticity? Let's go ahead and ask our lovely girlfriend here. What are our See, you guys have to realize I come up with the concept for the show, put together the descriptor and everything, and know it's the generalization I want to talk about. I want to get ahead of this to where I'm able to create these things before the show, so that way I have these listed out. The shows will go much better than I get that, and I apologize. This is so all over the place, but if you notice, there will be that this will get improved. The schedule will get improved. The agenda I'm doing will get approved. It will improve. All right. So, what are our bullet points, talking points for principles and authenticity? Principles. Importance of strong moral and ethical standards. So, yeah, we all have. Listen, if you're pro-life and that's one of your principles, that's part of your authenticity. It's part of your mission. As you go through life and you make decisions on objectives and matters, and you set up your initiatives to tackle and become and be authentic and uphold what you love and to be who you want to be. There's just so much to all this. Sorry, I lost my track of thought there. I'm thinking about what people are going to be thinking about this show, and really not in my element yet. It's not as natural as I would like it to be. It'll get there. the more you prepare for a show, the better they go. I do believe that. And I'm trying my best to show people that, yeah, the issues I'm having right now, even right now, where I just got a little brain fog and forgot about that. Like, that's the content to me. That's me stopping, going, oh, here's where I am. Here, I want you to see that any human doing this is going to run into problems and it's not going to be perfect. It's knowing who you are and what you're trying to accomplish and knowing the big picture. Like this show, I've made it to where even if it's a shit show and things are going hell, what if we got in an argument while there was hosts here because we didn't say something someone liked and someone gave attitude and I'm pissed because they gave attitude on the show. Like I know that to me, the more important thing is seeing, for me, the more important thing, not seeing views under each video, but for me, the more important thing is seeing that the video happened, whether it was good or bad, it happened, it's there, and we can learn from it. And we take whatever was bad in it and we put some kind of principle or some kind of boundary in place where it doesn't happen again, or try not to let it happen again. You can never control anything 100%, but what you can do is your best to prepare and plan. All right. So we got 23 minutes left. And this is a weekly session, just so everybody knows. We want you to schedule your session with us. We're going to take a moment to talk about the creative tech for a second. The creative tech is my opportunity to get on camera and have a session like I do with my individuals and my teams at Icora. These individual sessions that I've been having with people, I know anytime I spend time with anybody, I grow and I learn from it because I'm always looking to learn and grow and experience. Whatever the agenda is for the person I'm working with, I want to know what their agenda is to some degree. I don't need to know everything about them. There's some things that are private, but I want to know how my identity and their identity meshes, right? And I do have friends that I hang out with, and I do like to talk about these types of things, but I'm not labeling things like this. I'm not this anal about it. Then, like, I can turn this off to some degree. It is part of my authentic self, but I can turn this off and go have fun with friends and have drinks and not be this structured thing, this rigid, not everything has to be planned out. Not everything, like, it took a while for my wife and I to align on this, but when we go out and do things with the kids, I'd like to talk through what we're going to do and then sit down with the kids and say, hey, kids, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to this thing. We're going to have fun. When we say we're going to do this, and you guys all need to meet up with us. And I want to get a picture with everybody before we leave. So when I say, hey, I want to get a picture real quick, let's get this done. What happens is when you take that little time to prepare and put time into things, put a little effort into it, you can't control everything that's going to happen when you go to whatever event or whatever experience you've aligned with this group of people, even if it's people you love. That should be easy to work with because you've had chemistry because they're your family. I know that even with the family today, if I were just to go upstairs and grab everybody and say, hey, let's go to the park, and let's go to the park, and I have an agenda of what I want to do while we're there, and I don't share that with them, I'm going to have a shit show when I get there. People are going to make up their own agendas. If I don't give them some kind of concrete reason why we're going there, they're going to come up with their own reasons. And in workplaces, this is the same concept. You can't just go, hey, everybody, listen, we're going to have things changing at work today. Instead of everybody putting things in boxes, we're going to put them in bags, and we're going to do this, and everybody's going to throw things over here. Okay, let's go. They're there to do their job, and they will do what you tell them to do, probably. And if you like having that level of business, I mean, that I can see that happening every now and then in a very well cultured company, but usually you don't just go out there and tell everybody what to do and they just go do it blindly. Like, people want to know why, or at least understand why. If it's not obvious by looking at it and you're just telling them that, you're not going to get the results you want. I can tell you that, especially if you're not clear in your expectations. So what I'm trying to get at is make sure to follow the script and not get off time so you have another brain fog moment and not remember what the hell it is you were talking about. Yeah, I'm a hot mess. It's okay. These are live shows. We love live. All right. We've talked about truth. We've talked about principles quite a bit, and I haven't really done my check-in. So, just so everybody is aware, I don't want the agenda to be a hindrance to anybody. It's not like it's secret. We open the show with 5 minutes of me introducing and explaining what the show is to some degree. Then we have a catching up section where we kind of talk about the things we have going on. I talked about Cole having spotlight videos. I talked about me working on the admin pipeline for Icora. I really haven't talked about the LinkedIn and cleaning my garage. Yeah, we fill some of this in before the show, and we try to use it as a point to help us as we're going through the show. We just go through this and we try to keep time to some degree. Like right now, I'm starting to do the section of catching up, which comes after the truth topic. And I feel like this is where we are right now. And this is what, 5, 10, 15, 25. So 25 minutes, no, 15 minutes into it, I was supposed to cut over to community discussion. 25 minutes. Yeah, that's right. 5, 10, 15, 25. Then I spent 5 minutes. So yeah, 25 minutes in, I was supposed to do this and then go do 10 minutes on principles. But I skipped this section. So I did topic 1, talked about topic 2. That would put us at 35. So yeah, we're about 7 minutes past due. I need to get this section of the show in. And then we got to do 10 minutes left for topics and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm sharing this with you because if you have any expectations of doing anything like what I'm doing, which I think is the primary reason for the show, is for other people that want to do similar, whether it's teaching people in a class and just making videos for your team, or whether it's for your personal social media and your craft that you do because you like to post videos on something, you just want to get better at doing whatever improvement that we can help you make. That's what we're here to do. So yeah, hopefully you can see how horrible I am at my craft. Yeah. So creative tech, we have three steps. And those 3 steps are simple. Okay, I'm going to write it out here so everybody can see it. Step 1. Join the tribe. Step 2. Align with the tribe. Step 3. Sessions. Schedule your free session. I don't know why I'm talking like that. It's weird. So, step 1 is tribe.creativetech.ai. Yeah. Anyway, so what I want you guys to do, all right, now I know this is a lot of work, and I know nobody's really going to do this, but if you join the group, you get aligned, and especially if you say yes to the group, letting us share your information on the show, this is where we're going to talk about it. So I did. Let me go over here and take a look at the database real quick. We did have somebody new fill out the form, and I don't see anybody doing this. Like I know I'm telling people about it, but I don't see consent. Yeah, I don't feel like he did that. Question. Let's go take a look. Yeah, I may not be able to share his stuff if that's if he said no, or they said no, I should say. You don't know who I'm talking about. You have no clue who I'm talking about. All right. No, I want forms. Where's my forms? Thank you. So the creative tech form, we've had not 9 responses. I thought it said 8 earlier, but maybe I'm wrong. We got some more people in here now. All right. Okay, so he did say yes. All right. So just so you guys can see here, we don't have anybody that said no yet, so I'm happy to share the whole thing. And anybody that has images in here right now, they're actually a influencer that we pulled in here. They did not fill out the form. Just know that that's the difference there. Okay. So people that are in here that have images did not fill out the form other than myself, Cole, and Will. Um, so we did have a new participant down here, Mr. Charlie Hall from Seven Hills Technologies is joining the tribe. So let's edit this in grid view. Let's give him his name. Now, when they fill out this form, just so you guys know, the way I'm capturing this stuff is they fill out this form, which is the second step align.creativetech.ai. You should fill one out just to get a feel for it. But when you fill out the form, where is the form? Oh. When you fill out the form, we essentially just ask you for your name, your preferred name, nickname, email address. Like, for instance, Potato Jet, he'd put his first, last name, and he would put his Potato Jet as his nickname here. An email address to contact you as an individual, not a business. This is your identity. And this is mandatory, even though, like, your name and your email, we need those things. We need to know your mobile number. No, we don't. It's not mandatory. We would like it because we do plan on doing text messages and things of that nature as we grow. And I'm excited to show you guys all about that. This is all part of the big plan. We are building this thing from the ground all the way up. This is the beginning stages, my friend. So we got city, state, which these are required. Nothing's required up here. None of these are required, but we want to know. So please fill these out if you can. Do your best. If you don't fill them out, we'll just have empty answers. But why we want you to fill this form out and let us know who you are, where you are, and give us some insights to, like, let us see your LinkedIn, let us see your YouTube, let us see what you're doing. Get aligned with us. That way we can take a look at your profile versus, our structure or our process. And when we do that, we want to see if you want to be part of the episode or not. So you say yes or no here. Now, currently, we only got 9 people that have filled it out, Charlie being the last one. So if we go look at responses, we can go away, maybe later. Yeah, so we can see here, nobody has said no so far. We've had 6 solid respondents, 5 responses to this one. This one here, we have yes. So if I want to look at Charlie's alone, right? If I just want to look at responses individually, where are they? I think there's a present mode. Maybe this is where it is. I'm just curious if the analytics will get when it starts going. Some of our crew are idiots. Not sure their feedback is sound. I'm hearing weird notifications go off. All right, so we really don't have a lot of growth on anything right now. So checking in with the show, checking in with the tribe. The worksheet is done. The list is, got one new person added to it. We are at 26 members, I believe. Let's go check that out real quick. This is all about creative tech, y'all. And this is our master group. Oh, what needs managed? We got 28 members. Oh, I asked him to be my friend. He doesn't want to be my friend yet. That's right. Um, yeah, that's cool. So we got Kendra Ramirez. She is awesome and one of our, yeah, she's like Cincinnati's one of their biggest LinkedIn influencers. Great woman and super excited that she's part of the crew now. I do see her as being a big influencer to this thing, and any the fact that I am the way I am, a metalhead dropout from high school that wants something better for him and his family, like for her to take time out to listen to me and to see potential in me and to help me in my growth, like that means a lot to me. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you a lot. And everybody else that's part of the community as we're growing this out. Everybody here knows that we care about each other, that we're uplifting and empowering each other, and that's what the whole creative tech mentality is all about, right? So let's go ahead and let's wrap up the last 5 minutes, right? Just make sure you get aligned and get a session and get in here and help us with this craft. Let us help you, and if anything, if you think you could help us, like it's a two-way street here. Even if you are coming to us brand new wanting to do this, you see the concept and you're like, hey, I want to be like this, help me. We're going to learn with you. Just because we're the one sitting there being the mentor in the situation, you you add so much value. You have no idea. If you only look for the value you can add to somebody to make their lives better in a way that's tangible or something, like you make our lives better because we get to meet you where you are and help you get to where we want you to be, which is where you want to be authentically. That's what I want to do, everybody, and do that in a positive light with a positive attitude. And I'm excited to be part of this thing that I'm building because I love what it is. I'm the one building, and I'm building it with people around me that get it. I have their reinforcement. I'm really excited as they rear me. All right, let's go ahead and cut all this noise out. Let's do this for a minute. Behaviors. Oh my God. I'm gonna take a drink. Give me a minute. So I met this guy a few years back. His name's Jim. He has a company, 2 ears, 1 mouth. And the reason why he called his company that is because he's letting everybody know that he knows how to listen. Listening, giving somebody your attention. Remember, I said attention is the number one value. And if you have something to offer people and you're giving somebody your attention, there's a lot of value there. And I hope that you can get compensated for your attention. Because I know I've gotten to a point now that when somebody knows I'm giving them attention and they're explaining things to me, they know they're going to get something good in return. They know that if they're authentic with me, that if they tell me where they truly want to be and they give me their best, like if they allow me to do an assessment and really dig in and get an observation of the situation, that I have a lot of value I can add because of my experiences in my past and my tenacity, my ability to be relentless and to go after what I want. So giving somebody your attention. Now here's something, I've always been good at this and I've done well with it, but I've been a dick and I can still be a dick. And I'm aware of that. That's just part of who I am now. So I've embraced it for the most part. But I want to be a nice dick. I want to be a gleaming, gorgeous dick. There's your clip for social media, Cole. So what I'm really saying is I can be disagreeable and I can be confrontational because of me being authentic and upholding my authenticity and guarding my authenticity. So it's really hard to meet people with kindness and empathy. But if you really want to be authentic and really want to help people, don't be a dick. Truly listen to what they're saying. Understand your purpose for being there. Now, when I'm talking to people, and I'm working with them, with the wife and the kids and stuff, oh, it's a family matter and we're dealing with that, right? If it's a business, it's a business matter. We have a different way, a different mindset, a different way of approaching and doing things for different scenarios. But there's some principles, there's some things we can do for our authenticity, for us to be solid, for us to be consistent. Things may go to shit, but every time things go to shit, that person remains calm because that's one of their principles. They stay kind and empathetic because that's their principles. And it's really hard for me to do. It is so hard for anybody to do, I imagine, especially if you're starting so late in life. But it's like, what do I say? Well, I'm already 45 years in. Oh, well, fuck it. We'll just write out the rest of the years being the way we've been. And I'm sure it's just those are the cards I were dealt. I will hold on to these cards. No. You got to stay in the game, so you can't give up you can't throw in your hand, but you need to discard the cards that need to be discarded because they're not helping your hand. They make your hand look like shit. If these cards together, there might be something, but these ones, fuck no. You get rid of them. You don't fold. You get rid of the few cards that are bad and you get new cards. If you're dealt another set of cards that are shit, you line it up with all your other cards. Make sure that's the case. Now, obviously, in a game of poker, that keeps going. This isn't you got 2 tries and you're done in life. This is you got, and this is another thing, a lot of people don't get it, but you might be around for a long time. I thought I'd be gone by now. I didn't think I'd be dealing with the things I'm dealing with now, like owning a home. What the fuck is that about? You know, if you don't like your partner or you end up like saying, hey, I want to split up, god damn, isn't that a bear to deal with? Kids involved, oh shit. Like, be authentic, be genuine, and be empathetic and kind and polite. It may be the only thing that helps keep the glue together, especially if you're a disagreeable dick like me. Consistency. You know, not too long ago, like I brought up the family a few times because everybody everybody's got family issues. I'm dealing with some family shit right now. And, the wife and I, we went out to dinner, and I'm in the doghouse right now, just so you know. I'm in the doghouse, but when I'm in the doghouse, I'm able to still go to bed with my wife. We may not be cuddling, but I'm in the doghouse. But when we walked out of the car, I walked around to open her door for her. And it's like one of those moments when you know that you're in the doghouse and you're trying to be nice and sweet. When opening the car door for your wife, would that look suspecting if you are trying to kiss her ass or something? If she's mad at you and you feel like you're in the doghouse and you start opening doors for her and doing these little things, if you start then, that's not genuine and it's not authentic, and it's only because of the situation you're in. But I felt so good because I went over to open her door. I looked at her and said, you know what? Don't worry. I'm not doing this because I'm kissing your ass. I'm doing this because what I do. And she had a big old dimple smile on me. And that's because she knows that I open her door when she's happy. I open her door when she's mad. That's authenticity. That's that's putting your truth, understanding principles, and putting them into behavior. That's authenticity. I have struggled with drug addiction, kids alienated from me, and having immature partners that don't understand the big picture. They don't understand. Everybody's so wrapped up into their agenda and their now. And I see friends posting about this online. Like I have one friend I've been talking to recently that deals with depression a lot, and their negative outlook on life and the way things work and people having positive aspects and being positive thinkers. He wants to understand that. And I hear people when they say that they're tired of the world being mean to each other. Like, quit being so nice. Well, how about you all start, being nicer to each other, so that way my nicety seems more normal than it being such a standout thing and you guys all being dicks, right? So I guess now that we're a few minutes over, this was a good session. I love what I do. I have sessions like this with people, actual one-to-one, where we're focused and paying attention to people. And I see breakthroughs and I see things going so well. I love this. This is something I'm passionate about. And I'm all up in my feels right now because of all the shit going on in life. I almost didn't want to do the show today. But I know that no matter what's happening today, that this show is one of those principal things that if I stick to it, I'm going to be happier. And I'm going to build my empire with it. So it's just another one in the history books, but I feel like it was a positive session. I do think we need to get this, some kind of timer or something that says, here, stick to this. But if I had the time, now that we're getting shows in advance, just so you guys know, and I'm talking about this more as we go along, but we're starting to have shows in advance now. Like next week's episode, I can already tell you, on our outros, we can start saying things like, oh, and be here for next week's episode of, I gotta remember what it was real quick. Where the fuck is it? Oh, I remember now. Experts. So the creative tech, there's levels of creative techs here. We have a free audience, and that's right here. This is the free version. You get free stuff. We're going to start doing spotlight videos for the free people and helping them any way we can. The free audience, how do we keep them happy and engaged? But we have 4 levels altogether. We got your entry beginners, you got your novice, you got your advanced, and then you have your experts. Your experts are the ones that are on our payroll. Your experts are the ones that have been trained in the modern workforce mentality with the creative tech, and they are now licensed and can do sessions with you. Licensed as in, I said it was okay to go. Anyway, I love all you bastards. We're all in this fucking world together. We're all breathing the same air, believe it or not. The breaths we are taking are the air here, I don't know how real that is. Maybe a breath over here, but maybe some Washington may have done, or Benjamin Franklin, or somebody's Edison or Einstein, like we're breathing the same breath that they breathe. We are humans just like these people around us. Your celebrities, everybody gets so bent out of shape over, and ever since I was a baby, I looked at celebrities and stuff as another person. They just have nicer clothes and nicer things around them because of the people they're around. They are no different than you and I. You have something of value. Get aligned, have some sessions. Let's show you your value. I'm Joseph Sunderman, Creative Tech. I'm signing off on this week's 13th episode of Sessions, which covered authenticity. We talked about truth, principles, and behaviors. And I hope that if anybody ever watches this, or if anybody did watch this, that there was something that you got from it. If you did get something from it, I truly want to know. I want to know that my efforts are going somewhere. Was it shit? Tell me where I can improve, because I'm not going to stop. So, yeah. I love you, bastards. Keep it heavy. Keep it real. Where the hell's my tab with the show so I can get out of here? Because I'm hungry. I want to go eat. Oh, there you are.